A person who attacks or undermines traditional religious icons or political institutions. A person who challenges established beliefs or institutions.
परंपरा विरोधी, जो स्थापित मान्यताओं का विरोध करे.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Hedge, iconoclast, derelict, profusion. Now the correct answer is iconoclast.
Iconoclast as noun.
परंपरा विरोधी, जो स्थापित मान्यताओं का विरोध करे.
A person who attacks or undermines traditional religious icons or political institutions. A person who challenges established beliefs or institutions.
Synonym of
Iconoclast.
Critic, skeptic, questioner, more.
Antonym of
Iconoclast.
Creator, believer, maker, designer, manufacturer.
Here is the word family of iconoclast. As a noun, iconoclasm. As an adjective, iconoclastic. As an adverb, iconoclastically. The scientist was an iconoclast who challenged traditional theories. The artist was considered an iconoclast for his unconventional approach to art. The rebel leader was an iconoclast who fought against the established government. The writer was seen as an iconoclast for her controversial opinions. The politician's ideas were often considered iconoclastic.
common collocation of
Iconoclast.
Iconoclast artist. Definition: an artist who challenges conventional artistic norms and traditions, often through innovative or controversial works. Examples: the iconoclast artist's provocative installations spark debates about the boundaries of art. Iconoclast thinker. Definition: the person who questions or challenges established beliefs, ideas, or ideologies, often advocating for new perspectives or unconventional approaches. Examples: the iconoclast thinker challenged the prevailing theories with his groundbreaking research. Iconoclast movement. Definition: a social or cultural movement that seeks to overthrow or challenge established norms, practices, or institutions. Examples: the feminist movement of the 1960s was seen as an iconoclast movement, challenging traditional gender roles and advocating for equality. Iconoclast leader. Definition: a leader who rejects or challenges established leadership models or practices, often introducing new approaches or radical changes. Examples: the leader revolutionized the company's management style, fostering a culture of creativity and innovation. Iconoclast literature. Definition: literary works that defy or subvert traditional literary conventions, often pushing the boundaries of form or content. Examples: the iconoclast literature of the Beat generation challenged societal norms and explored alternative lifestyles.
Next question. The highest point of achievement or development. The highest point or summit of something.
शिखर, सबसे ऊंचा बिंदु.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Apex, gumption, dress, heretic. Now the correct answer is apex.
Apex as noun.
शिखर, सबसे ऊंचा बिंदु.
The highest point of achievement or development. The highest point or summit of something.
Synonyms of
Apex.
Peak, acme, zenith, summit, pinnacle.
antonyms of
Apex.
Nadir, foot, antepex, base, bottom.
Here is the word family of apex, as a noun apex, as an adjective apical.
The apex of the mountain offers a breathtaking view of the valley below. The apex predator in the ecosystem is usually the top of the food chain. The athlete reached the apex of his career when he won the gold medal at the Olympics. The apex of the pyramid is the most important part of the structure. The company reached the apex of its success when it became a Fortune 500 company.
Here are some useful collocations of
Apex.
Apex predator. Definition: the top predator in a specific ecosystem or food chain. Examples: the lion is considered the apex predator in the African savanna. Apex of a career. Definition: the highest point or culmination of one's professional achievements or success. Examples: winning the Nobel Prize was the apex of her scientific career. Apex of a mountain. Definition: the highest point or peak of a mountain. Examples: climbing to the apex of Mount Everest is a challenging feat for mountaineers. Apex of a triangle. Definition: the highest point or vertex of a triangle. Examples: the mathematicians studied the properties of triangles and their apex angles. Apex of a building. Definition: the highest point or pinnacle of a building structure. Examples: the spire on top of the cathedral forms the apex of its architecture.
Next question. A deviation from a rule, principle, or standard. Something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected.
विसंगति, सामान्य पैटर्न से हटकर चीज.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Pedestrian. Anomaly. Advocate. Virago. Now the correct answer is anomaly.
anomaly as noun.
विसंगति, सामान्य पैटर्न से हटकर चीज.
A deviation from a rule, principle, or standard. Something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected.
Synonyms of
Anomaly.
Abnormality, oddity, irregularity, peculiarity, deviation.
antonyms of
Anomaly.
Normality, norm, regularity, standard, usual.
Here is the word family of anomaly, as a noun anomaly, as an adjective anomalous, as an adverb anomalously.
The linguistic anomaly was a word that did not conform to the rules of grammar or syntax in the language. The astronomical anomaly was caused by a celestial event that had never been observed before and required new theories to explain. The financial anomaly was detected by auditors, and an investigation was launched to determine the cause and scope of the irregularity. The unexpected result was an anomaly, and the experiment had to be repeated to verify its accuracy. The climate anomaly was attributed to global warming and was a cause for concern among scientists and policymakers.
Here are some useful collocations of
Anomaly.
Statistical anomaly. Definition: a data point or observation that deviates significantly from the expected or normal pattern in a statistical analysis. Examples: the unusually high sales figure for that day was considered a statistical anomaly. Anomaly detection. Definition: the process of identifying and flagging abnormal or unusual patterns or behavior in data. Examples: the software uses machine learning algorithms for anomaly detection in network traffic. Anomaly in nature. Definition: a deviation from the typical or expected behavior or characteristics in the natural world. Examples: the albino squirrel was an anomaly in the population of gray squirrels. Anomaly in science. Definition: a phenomenon or result that contradicts existing scientific theories or understanding. Examples: the discovery of a new species in a region where it was not expected was considered an anomaly in science. Anomaly in weather. Definition: unusual or unexpected weather conditions or events that deviate from the normal climate patterns. Examples: the severe snowstorm in a region with a mild climate was an anomaly.
Next question. A catastrophic event causing widespread destruction and loss of life. A sudden and violent change in the natural or social order.
महाविपत्ति बहुत बड़ी और विनाशकारी घटना.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Turpitude, cataclysm, reprobate, animosity. Now the correct answer is cataclysm.
Cataclysm as noun.
महाविपत्ति बहुत बड़ी और विनाशकारी घटना.
A catastrophic event causing widespread destruction and loss of life. A sudden and violent change in the natural or social order.
Synonyms of
Cataclysm.
Disaster, calamity, catastrophe, tragedy, misfortune.
Antonyms of
Cataclysm.
Boon, happiness, miracle, blessing, good fortune.
Here is the word family of cataclysm. As a noun, cataclysm. As an adjective, cataclysmic. As an adverb, cataclysmically.
The cataclysmic hurricane caused widespread devastation, with many people losing their homes and possessions. The cataclysmic asteroid impact wiped out the dinosaurs, leading to their extinction. The cataclysm of World War II had a profound impact on the world, changing the course of history. The cataclysmic explosion at the chemical plant caused massive damage and numerous casualties. The cataclysmic earthquake destroyed entire cities, leaving thousands homeless.
Here are some useful collocations of
Cataclysm.
Natural cataclysm, definition, refers to a large-scale and devastating natural event or disaster that causes significant damage or loss of life. Examples: the earthquake was a natural cataclysm that resulted in widespread destruction and loss of homes. Economic cataclysm, definition, describes a severe and sudden disruption in the economic system or financial markets that leads to significant economic downturn or collapse. Examples: the stock market crash in 2008 was an economic cataclysm that resulted in a global recession. Environmental cataclysm, definition, refers to a catastrophic event or process that has severe and lasting impacts on the environment and ecosystems. Examples: the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico was an environmental cataclysm, causing extensive damage to marine life and habitats. Social cataclysm, definition, describes a radical and transformative event or upheaval in society that leads to significant social changes and disruptions. Examples: the French Revolution was a social cataclysm that brought about the end of the monarchy and the rise of the republic. Political cataclysm. Definition: refers to a dramatic and transformative event or upheaval in the political landscape that leads to significant changes in governance or power structures. Examples: the fall of the Berlin Wall marked a political cataclysm that symbolized the end of the Cold War and the reunification of Germany.
Next question. A difficult or perplexing situation, dilemma, or problem that requires a decision or solution. A state of uncertainty, indecision, or confusion, especially when faced with multiple options or courses of action.
दुविधा, क्या करें यह न समझ आना.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Quandary, banality, solecism, collusion. Now the correct answer is quandary.
Quandary as noun.
दुविधा, क्या करें यह न समझ आना.
A difficult or perplexing situation, dilemma, or problem that requires a decision or solution. A state of uncertainty, indecision, or confusion, especially when faced with multiple options or courses of action.
Synonym of
Quandary,
Dilemma, predicament, difficulty, pickle, plight.
Antonym of
quandary.
Solution, advantage, certainty, anticipate, assurance.
Here is the word family of quandary. As a noun, quandary.
The manager was in a quandary about how to handle the difficult employee without causing conflict. The CEO was in a quandary about whether to invest in a risky new venture or play it safe. The student was in a quandary about which college to choose, as both had their pros and cons. The homeowner was in a quandary about whether to renovate or sell the house. The traveler was in a quandary about whether to stay longer in a beautiful but expensive city or move on to a more affordable destination.
collocation of
Quandary,
Personal quandary. Definition: an internal struggle or dilemma concerning personal choices or decisions. Examples: he was in a personal quandary about whether to pursue his passion or follow a more stable career path. Professional quandary. Definition: a dilemma or predicament arising from work-related decisions or obligations. Examples: the project manager faced a professional quandary when deciding whether to prioritize quality or timeliness. Financial quandary. Definition: a difficult financial situation or dilemma, often involving financial decisions or constraints. Examples: the unexpected expense put them in a financial quandary, forcing them to reassess their budget. Moral quandary. Definition: a dilemma or conflict of values and beliefs that poses a difficult decision. Examples: the politician faced a moral quandary when asked to compromise on an important issue. Emotional quandary. Definition: a state of uncertainty or confusion in dealing with complex or conflicting emotions. Examples: she was in an emotional quandary, torn between her love for two different people.
Next question. A sudden and forceful suppression or crushing of something. The act of silencing or suppressing a sound, especially by damping or muffling it.
दबाना, किसी चीज को नीचे कुचलना.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Malapropism, squelch, sanction, gumption. Now the correct answer is squelch.
Squelch as noun.
दबाना, किसी चीज को नीचे कुचलना.
A sudden and forceful suppression or crushing of something. The act of silencing or suppressing a sound, especially by damping or muffling it.
Synonym of
Squelch.
Suppress, quash, quell, crush, put down.
Antonym of
Squelch.
Release, encourage, allow, uncompress, cultivate.
Here is the word family of squelch. As a noun squelch, as a verb squelch.
The squelch of the microphone made it difficult to hear the speaker's words. The squelch of the sponge, soaking up the spilled water, was audible. The squelch of the car tires on the mud indicated the difficult driving conditions. The sound of the wet grass underfoot was a squelch. The hiker's boots made a squelch as she walked through the marsh.
collocation of
Squelch.
Squelch a rumor. Definition: to suppress or put an end to a rumor or false information. Examples: the company quickly squelched the rumor about impending layoffs by issuing a statement. Squelch dissent. Definition: to suppress or quell dissenting voices or opinions. Examples: the authoritarian regime used various tactics to squelch political dissent and opposition. Squelch laughter. Definition: to suppress or stifle laughter or amusement. Examples: the comedian's unexpected punchline made it difficult for the audience to squelch their laughter. Squelch a protest. Definition: to forcefully stop or suppress a protest or demonstration. Examples: the police used tear gas and water cannons to squelch the protesters' attempts to march. Squelch curiosity. Definition: to suppress or quash one's curiosity or desire for knowledge. Examples: the teacher's dismissive response squelched the students' curiosity about the topic.
Next question. A restatement of the details of a story or event, usually made at the end, in order to clarify or summarize what has happened. A summary or a restatement of the main points or ideas of a larger work or event.
पुनरावर्तन, मुख्य बातों का संक्षेप.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Recapitulation, sinecure, cornucopia, tool. Now the correct answer is recapitulation.
Recapitulation as noun.
पुनरावर्तन, मुख्य बातों का संक्षेप.
A restatement of the details of a story or event, usually made at the end, in order to clarify or summarize what has happened. A summary or a restatement of the main points or ideas of a larger work or event.
synonym of
Recapitulation,
Epitome, summary, recap, review, synopsis.
antonym of
recapitulation,
Scenogenesis, final draft, elongate, exposition, extension.
Here is the word family of recapitulation. As a noun recapitulation. As a verb recapitulate. As an adjective recapitulative.
The professor's lecture included a recapitulation of the key points from the previous class. The CEO's presentation began with a recapitulation of the company's history and achievements. The book's final chapter provides a brief recapitulation of the main themes and ideas. The concert's encore was a recapitulation of the band's greatest hits. The artist's retrospective exhibition was a recapitulation of her career over the past decade.
Collocation of.
Recapitulation.
Musical recapitulation. Definition. In classical music, the final section of a sonata or symphony where the main theme is restated. Examples: the orchestra played the powerful recapitulation, bringing the piece to a thrilling conclusion. Recapitulation of events. Definition: the retelling or summarizing of significant events or moments, often in chronological order. Examples: the documentary provided a recapitulation of the historical events leading up to the revolution. Recapitulation in biology. Definition: the repetition or replication of certain characteristics or patterns during development or evolution. Examples: the recapitulation theory suggests that the stages of human embryonic development reflect evolutionary stages. Recapitulation of themes. Definition in literature: the reintroduction or restatement of themes or motifs for emphasis or reinforcement. Examples: the author employed a recapitulation of themes throughout the novel, highlighting their significance. Recapitulation in psychology. Definition: the process of recalling or reviewing past experiences or memories, often in therapy or introspection. Examples: the patient underwent a recapitulation of traumatic events to gain a deeper understanding and promote healing.
Next question. A feeling of anger caused by being offended or insulted. Offense or annoyance.
अपमान, रंजिश, किसी बात से गहरी नाराजगी.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Umbrage, credence, opulence, chortle. Now the correct answer is umbrage.
Umbrage as noun.
अपमान, रंजिश, किसी बात से गहरी नाराजगी.
A feeling of anger caused by being offended or insulted. Offense or annoyance.
Synonym of.
Umbrage,
Pique, offense, resentment, dudgeon, shadow.
Antonym of.
umbrage,
Like, pleasure, happiness, love, airiness.
Here is the word family of umbrage. As a noun, umbrage.
The employee took umbrage at the boss's comments about his work performance. The politician took umbrage at the opposition's attack on her policies. The CEO took umbrage at the suggestion that he was not a good leader. The artist took umbrage at the critic's harsh review of his work. The customer took umbrage at the store's refusal to accept a return.
Collocation of.
Umbrage,
Take umbrage. Definition: to feel offense, resentment, or annoyance at something. Examples: she took umbrage at his critical remarks about her work. Give umbrage. Definition: to cause offense or annoyance to someone. Examples: his dismissive attitude towards their opinions gave umbrage to his colleagues. Umbrageous growth. Definition: dense and abundant growth of plants or vegetation that provides shade and cover. Examples: the umbrageous growth of ivy on the old stone wall created a picturesque scene. Umbrageous forest. Definition: a forest that provides shade, shelter, or a sense of darkness due to its dense canopy. Examples: the umbrageous forest provided a cool and serene escape from the summer heat. Umbrageous Tree. Definition: a tree that casts a large amount of shade due to its dense foliage. Examples: the umbrageous tree offered a perfect spot for a picnic under its cool shade.
Next question. It implies a sense of resentment, anger, or hostility towards someone or something. It is used to describe a hostile or bitter attitude or atmosphere, often in a disagreement or dispute.
कटुता, कड़वाहट या तीखापन, खासकर संबंधों में.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Hamper, melancholy, truculence, acrimony. Now, the correct answer is acrimony.
Acrimony as noun.
कटुता, कड़वाहट या तीखापन, खासकर संबंधों में.
It implies a sense of resentment, anger, or hostility towards someone or something. It is used to describe a hostile or bitter attitude or atmosphere, often in a disagreement or dispute.
Synonyms of
Acrimony,
Bitterness, acerbity, malice, virulence, asperity.
antonyms of
acrimony,
Courtesy, diplomacy, kindness, civility, decency.
Here is the word family of acrimony. As a noun acrimony, as a adjective acrimonious, as a adverb acrimoniously.
The acrimony between the rival sports teams was palpable, with fans trading insults and taunts throughout the game. The acrimony between the two political parties made it difficult for them to work together on important issues. When a project fails, there can be a lot of acrimony among team members as they try to assign blame and figure out what went wrong. In a business partnership, acrimony can arise when there are disagreements about strategy, compensation, or other issues. After the divorce, there was a lot of acrimony between the former spouses, making it hard for them to co-parent effectively.
Here are some useful collocations of
Acrimony,
Acrimony in a relationship. Bitterness, hostility, or animosity in a personal or professional relationship. Examples: the divorce proceedings were marked by acrimony, with both parties expressing resentment and anger. Acrimony in negotiations. Definition: intense disagreement or conflict, characterized by hostility or harsh words during negotiations. Examples: the contract discussions ended in acrimony, as neither party was willing to compromise. Acrimony among colleagues. Definition: resentment, hostility, or tension among coworkers or colleagues. Examples: the office atmosphere was filled with acrimony after a heated disagreement during a team meeting. Acrimony in politics. Definition: bitterness, discord, or contention within the realm of politics or political debates. Examples: the political campaign was marred by acrimony, with candidates launching personal attacks against each other. Acrimony in family disputes. Definition: tension, conflict, or bitterness in familial relationships, often associated with disagreements or inheritance disputes. Examples: the family gathering was filled with acrimony, as siblings argued over the distribution of their parents' estate.
Next question. A cruel or hostile attitude or disposition. A tendency towards belligerence or aggression.
क्रूरता, आक्रामक और लड़ाकू स्वभाव.
Now, let us proceed to evaluate the options for this question. Which word aligns most closely with the stated definition? Truculence, flush, tender, largest. Now the correct answer is truculence.
Truculence as noun.
क्रूरता, आक्रामक और लड़ाकू स्वभाव.
A cruel or hostile attitude or disposition. A tendency towards belligerence or aggression.
Synonym of
Truculence,
Truculency, pugnacity, savagery, barbarity, belligerence.
antonym of
truculence,
Clemency, mercifulness, charity, complaisance, gentleness.
Here is the word family of truculence. As a noun, truculence. As an adjective, truculent. As an adverb, truculently.
The coach was criticized for his truculence towards his players. His truculence made it difficult to work with him. The politician's truculence during the debate turned off voters. The customer's truculence made the employee feel threatened. The dog's truculence towards strangers made it difficult to socialize.
collocation of
Truculence,
Physical truculence. Definition: a disposition or behavior characterized by aggressive or confrontational physical actions or tendencies. Examples: the boxer displayed physical truculence in the ring, delivering powerful punches to his opponent. Verbal truculence. Definition: a disposition or behavior characterized by aggressive or confrontational verbal expressions or tendencies. Examples: the politician's verbal truculence during the debate resulted in heated exchanges and personal attacks. Intense truculence. Definition: a high degree or level of aggression, hostility, or confrontational behavior. Examples: the football match was marked by intense truculence, with players engaging in rough tackles and altercations. Political truculence. Definition: a disposition or behavior characterized by aggressive or belligerent actions or rhetoric in the realm of politics. Examples: the political leader's political truculence undermined diplomatic efforts and led to strained relations with other countries. Passive truculence. Definition: a disposition or behavior characterized by resistant or defiant passivity or non-compliance. Examples: the employee's passive truculence was evident through constant delays and refusal to follow instructions.
Next question. Fear or anxiety about something impending or expected. Concern. The act of seizing or taking hold of something.
आशंका, डर या चिंता कि कुछ गलत होगा.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Empiricism, apprehension, eclectic, linear. Now the correct answer is apprehension.
Apprehension as noun.
आशंका, डर या चिंता कि कुछ गलत होगा.
Fear or anxiety about something impending or expected. Concern. The act of seizing or taking hold of something.
Synonyms of
Apprehension,
Anxiety, dread, fear, worry, apprehensiveness.
antonyms of
Apprehension.
calmness, misunderstanding, confidence, ease, incomprehension.
Here is the word family of apprehension. As a noun apprehension, as a verb apprehend, as an adjective apprehensive, as an adverb apprehensively.
The apprehension of the suspect was a relief for the police department. The apprehension on her face was visible as she waited for her test results. The defendant was filled with apprehension as the jury delivered the verdict. He felt a sense of apprehension as he walked down the dark alleyway. The child's apprehension about starting a new school was understandable.
Here are some useful collocations of
Apprehension.
Apprehension of danger. Definition: the feeling of anxiety or fear regarding a potential threat or harm. Examples: she felt a sense of apprehension before going on a thrilling roller coaster ride. Apprehension of the unknown. Definition: the feeling of unease or uncertainty when facing unfamiliar or unknown situations. Examples: moving to a new country filled her with a sense of apprehension about adapting to a different culture. Apprehension of failure. Definition: the fear or worry of not meeting expectations or achieving desired outcomes. Examples: the student experienced apprehension before taking the challenging exam. Apprehension of consequences. Definition: the awareness or concern about potential negative outcomes or repercussions. Examples: the driver had a sense of apprehension about exceeding the speed limit due to the possible consequences. Apprehension about public speaking. Definition: the nervousness or unease felt when speaking in front of an audience. Example: many people experience apprehension about public speaking, often known as stage fright.
Next question. A short, pithy statement expressing a general truth or rule of conduct.
सूक्ति, छोटा और गहरा जीवन सिद्धांत.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Firebrand. Maxim. Sanction. Rash. Now the correct answer is maxim.
Maxim as noun.
सूक्ति, छोटा और गहरा जीवन सिद्धांत.
A short, pithy statement expressing a general truth or rule of conduct.
Synonym of
Maxim.
Axiom, proverb, saw, adage, precept.
Antonym of
Maxim.
Nonsense, foolishness, absurdity.
Here is the word family of maxim. As a noun maxim.
Another famous maxim is actions speak louder than words. One well-known maxim is a penny saved is a penny earned. A popular business maxim is the customer is always right. A maxim often quoted in education is practice makes perfect. A maxim used in journalism is never bury the lead.
common collocation of
Maxim.
Famous maxim. Definition: a well-known and widely quoted saying or aphorism. Examples: actions speak louder than words is a famous maxim that emphasizes the importance of deeds over mere promises. Moral maxim. Definition: a guiding principle or rule of conduct that relates to ethical or moral behavior. Examples: do unto others as you would have them do unto you is a moral maxim found in various religious and philosophical teachings. Business maxim. Definition: a principle or guideline that governs successful business practices. Examples: the customer is always right is a commonly cited business maxim that emphasizes the importance of customer satisfaction. Personal maxim. Definition. An individual's personal motto or guiding principle that reflects their values or beliefs. Examples: never give up is a personal maxim that motivates many people to persist in the face of challenges. Time management maxim. Definition. A principle or strategy that promotes effective use of time. Examples: work smarter, not harder is a time management maxim that encourages efficiency and prioritization.
Next question. A line of things arranged in a straight line. A series of objects arranged side by side.
झगड़ा, तेज बहस या लड़ाई.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Savvy, paucity, torpor, row. Now the correct answer is row.
Row as noun.
झगड़ा, तेज बहस या लड़ाई.
A line of things arranged in a straight line. A series of objects arranged side by side.
Synonym of
Row.
Squabble, quarrel, brawl, wrangle, dispute.
Antonym of
Row.
Suicide, silence, agree, kiss and make up, discontinuous, acknowledge.
Here is the word family of row, as a noun row, as a verb row.
The students sat in rows of desks facing the teacher. The row of soldiers marched in perfect formation. The row of books on the shelf was neatly organized. The garden was planted in rows of vegetables. The houses on the street were in a row.
collocation of
Row.
Team rowing. Definition. A form of rowing where a team of rowers work together to propel a boat. Examples. The synchronized movements of the team rowing helped them achieve a faster speed. Olympic rower. Definition. An athlete who competes in rowing events at the Olympic Games. Examples. He represented his country as an Olympic rower and won a bronze medal in the men's single sculls. Row a boat. Definition. To propel or move a boat through water using oars. Examples. They enjoyed rowing their boat across the lake on a sunny afternoon. Rowing competition. Definition. A sports event or race involving rowing boats. Examples. The annual rowing competition attracted participants from various schools and universities. Rowing stroke. Definition. The coordinated movement and technique used in rowing. Examples. The rowing coach emphasized the importance of a strong and efficient rowing stroke.
Next question. A person or thing after whom a discovery, invention, or other item is named. A word or name used to describe or identify something based on the name of a person, place, or thing.
नाम जनक, जिससे किसी चीज का नाम लिया गया हो.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Precedent, polemic, apathy, eponym. Now the correct answer is eponym.
Eponym as noun.
नाम जनक, जिससे किसी चीज का नाम लिया गया हो.
A person or thing after whom a discovery, invention, or other item is named. A word or name used to describe or identify something based on the name of a person, place, or thing.
Synonym of.
Eponym.
Namesake, cognomen, eponymous, name, title.
Antonym of.
Eponym.
Anonymous, unnamed, nameless.
Here is the word family of eponym. As a noun eponym, as an adjective eponymous, as an adverb eponymously.
Sandwich is an eponym named after John Montagu, the 4th Earl of Sandwich. The term boycott is an eponym named after Charles Boycott, a British land agent. The word dunce is an eponym named after John Duns Scotus, a medieval philosopher. Mesmerize is an eponym named after Franz Mesmer, an 18th century physician who developed a theory of animal magnetism. Diesel engines are an eponym named after Rudolf Diesel, who invented them in the late 19th century.
Common collocation of.
Eponym.
Eponym in literature. Definition: a character's name used to title or identify a literary work. Examples: J. Gatsby, the protagonist of F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel, is an eponym for The Great Gatsby. Eponym for a disease. Definition: a person's name used to identify a medical condition or disease. Examples: Parkinson's disease is named after Dr. James Parkinson, an eponym for this neurodegenerative disorder. Eponym for a place. Definition: a person's name used to designate a place or location. Examples: the city of Washington, D.C. is named after George Washington, an eponym for the first president of the United States. Eponym in fashion. Definition: a person's name used to describe a popular fashion style, trend, or item. Examples: the Coco Chanel suit is an eponym for the iconic tailored ensemble created by the fashion designer. Eponym in science. Definition: a scientist's name used to identify a principle, theory, law, or concept. Examples: Newton's laws of motion are named after Sir Isaac Newton, an eponym for these fundamental laws in physics.
Next question. A support structure built against a wall or other surface, often used to provide additional strength or stability. Something that provides support or protection to something else.
सहारा, आधार, टिकाने वाला ढांचा.
Let us now consider the options for this question. Which of these words best corresponds to the provided definition? Eponym. Curmudgeon. Proponent. Buttress. Now the correct answer is buttress.
Buttress as noun.
सहारा, आधार, टिकाने वाला ढांचा.
A support structure built against a wall or other surface, often used to provide additional strength or stability. Something that provides support or protection to something else.
Synonyms of
Buttress.
Support, prop, bolster, brace, reinforce.
Antonyms of
Buttress.
Weaken, let down, add, administer, belie.
Here is the word family of buttress. Support. As a noun buttress. As a verb buttress.
The medieval castle's walls were supported by sturdy buttresses that helped to distribute the weight and prevent collapse. The retaining wall was built with buttresses to reinforce the structure and prevent soil erosion. The ancient temple's buttresses were decorated with intricate carvings and sculptures, adding to the beauty of the structure. The crumbling cathedral needed extensive restoration work, including repairing the damaged buttresses that held up the walls. The architect designed the building with flying buttresses to add extra support and create an impressive, cathedral-like appearance.
Here are some useful collocations of
Buttress.
Buttress a wall. Definition: to provide support or reinforcement to a wall or structure. Examples: the architect designed additional buttresses to strengthen the cathedral's walls. Buttress an argument. Definition: to support or strengthen an argument or position. Examples: the lawyer used compelling evidence to buttress his client's case. Buttress a belief. Definition: to provide justification or evidence for a belief or conviction. Examples: historical records buttress the belief that the event took place as described. Buttress economic growth. Definition: to contribute to or support the growth and stability of the economy. Examples: the government implemented policies to buttress economic growth and create more job opportunities. Buttress a friendship. Definition: to strengthen or reinforce a friendship or relationship. Examples: they often engage in meaningful conversations to buttress their friendship.
Next question. The act of being deceitful, untruthful, or two-faced. It refers to the act of being insincere and pretending to have beliefs, opinions, or feelings that one does not actually have.
कपट, दोहरा व्यवहार या छल.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Bastardization, ascetic, duplicity, conflagration. Now the correct answer is duplicity.
Duplicity as noun.
कपट, दोहरा व्यवहार या छल.
The act of being deceitful, untruthful, or two-faced. It refers to the act of being insincere and pretending to have beliefs, opinions, or feelings that one does not actually have.
Synonym of
Duplicity,
Deception, deceit, double-dealing, guile, chicanery.
Antonym of
duplicity,
Honesty, truth, forthrightness, trustworthiness, candor.
Here is the word family of duplicity. As a noun duplicity, as a verb duplicate, as an adjective duplicitous, as an adverb duplicitously.
The politician's duplicity was exposed when he was caught lying to the public. The company was sued for duplicity in advertising their product as organic when it contained synthetic ingredients. The novel's plot was full of duplicity and deceit. The detective uncovered a web of duplicity in the company's financial records. She saw through his duplicity and realized he was only pretending to be her friend.
common collocation of
duplicity,
Political duplicity. Definition: the act of deceit or dishonesty in politics, typically involving double-dealing or hypocrisy. Examples: the politician's duplicity was exposed when his private emails contradicted his public statements. Personal duplicity. Definition: the act of being deceitful or two-faced in personal relationships, often involving lying or betraying trust. Examples: his duplicity in relationships caused him to lose the trust of his friends and family. Corporate duplicity. Definition: the act of dishonesty or deception by a corporation, such as concealing information or misleading consumers. Examples: the company's corporate duplicity led to a public backlash and a decline in sales. Duplicity in communication. Definition: the use of misleading or deceptive language or behavior during communication. Examples: the politicians' duplicity in communication raised doubts about their sincerity and trustworthiness. Duplicity in advertising. Definition: the act of using deceptive or misleading techniques in advertising to manipulate or mislead consumers. Examples: the company faced legal consequences for its duplicity in advertising claims about its product.
Next question. A display of abundant generosity or benevolence, typically shown by wealthy individuals or organizations. Generosity or liberal giving of gifts, money, or resources, often to those in need or deserving.
उदार दान, खुलकर दिया गया उपहार.
We shall now review the options for this question. Which of these words most accurately matches the given definition? Base, censure, constraint, largesse. Now the correct answer is largesse.
Largesse as noun.
उदार दान, खुलकर दिया गया उपहार.
A display of abundant generosity or benevolence, typically shown by wealthy individuals or organizations. Generosity or liberal giving of gifts, money, or resources, often to those in need or deserving.
Synonym of.
Largesse,
Magnanimity, munificence, largesse, bounty, generosity.
Antonym of.
largesse,
Chauvinism, greediness, illiberality, miserliness, stinginess.
Here is the word family of largesse, as a noun largesse.
The organization received financial largesse from a wealthy benefactor, enabling them to expand their programs and reach more people. The philanthropist's largesse included generous donations to various charitable organizations. The company's largesse extended beyond its employees, supporting local community projects and initiatives. The royal family displayed largesse by distributing gifts to the citizens during the festive season. The billionaire's largesse was evident in his extravagant gifts to friends and family.
Common collocation of
Largesse,
Generous largesse. Definition: a display of generosity or giving on a large scale. Examples: the billionaire's largesse included significant donations to charities and funding for social causes. Financial largesse. Royal largesse. Definition: generous gifts or grants bestowed by a monarch or royal figure. Examples: the king's royal largesse included land grants and titles to loyal subjects. Corporate largesse. Definition: generous contributions or support from a corporation. Examples: the company's corporate largesse funded scholarships for underprivileged students. Philanthropic largesse. Definition: generous donations or acts of charity. Examples: the philanthropist's largesse helped establish educational institutions and healthcare facilities.
Next question. A bold and dashing quality, a confident and flamboyant style or manner.
अंदाज, स्टाइल, प्रभावशाली और आत्मविश्वासी तरीका.
At this point, let us analyze the options provided. Which of these words fits the given definition most appropriately? Heretic, panache, squelch, inkling. Now the correct answer is panache.
Panache as noun.
अंदाज, स्टाइल, प्रभावशाली और आत्मविश्वासी तरीका.
A bold and dashing quality. A confident and flamboyant style or manner.
Synonym of
Panache.
Dash, flair, style, elan, flourish.
Antonym of
Panache.
Awkwardness, backwardness, clumsiness, cower, cringe.
Here is the word family of panache. As a noun, panache.
The performer's stage presence was full of panache. The fashion designer's collection was characterized by its panache and boldness. The CEO's speech was delivered with panache and energy. The politician's public speaking skills were renowned for their panache and charisma. The writer's prose was marked by a certain panache and verve.
common collocation of
Panache.
Panache and adventure. Definition: embarking on thrilling, daring, or exciting endeavors with style and confidence. Examples: the explorer approached every adventure with panache, seeking new experiences and embracing the unknown. Panache and style. Definition: exhibiting flair, confidence, and a distinctive sense of style. Examples: she entered the room with panache and style, turning heads with her fashionable attire. Panache and charm. Definition: displaying charisma, grace, and an engaging personality. Examples: the charismatic politician spoke with panache and charm, captivating the audience with his words. Panache and elegance. Definition: showcasing refinement, sophistication, and tastefulness. Examples: the ballroom was decorated with panache and elegance, featuring exquisite floral arrangements and ornate decorations. Panache and confidence. Definition: demonstrating self-assuredness, poise, and an air of confidence. Examples: the actor delivered the lines with panache and confidence, captivating the audience with their stage presence.
Next question. A disorder or ailment of the body or mind. An abnormal or unhealthy condition.
बीमारी, शारीरिक या मानसिक रोग.
Let us now turn our attention to the options. Which of these words best fulfills the criteria of the presented definition? Panacea. Heretic. Malady. Row. Now the correct answer is malady.
Malady as noun.
बीमारी, शारीरिक या मानसिक रोग.
A disorder or ailment of the body or mind. An abnormal or unhealthy condition.
synonym of
Malady.
Illness, disease, disorder, sickness, ailment.
antonym of
Malady.
Wellness, health, good health, healthiness, robustness.
Here is the word family of malady. As a noun, malady.
The malady of poverty affects millions of people around the world. The flu is a common malady that afflicts many people each year. The malady of alcoholism has devastating effects on both the individual and their loved ones. The doctor diagnosed her with a rare malady that would require immediate treatment. The persistent cough was just one symptom of her mysterious malady.
Common collocation of
Malady.
Chronic malady. Definition: a long-lasting or persistent illness or health condition. Examples: the patient suffered from a chronic malady that required ongoing medical treatment. Unidentified malady. Definition: an unknown or undiagnosed illness or disease. Examples: the doctors struggled to identify the source of the patient's mysterious malady. Mental malady. Definition: a psychological or emotional disorder or condition. Examples: depression is a common mental malady that affects millions of people worldwide. Incurable malady. Definition: an illness or disease that cannot be cured or fully treated. Examples: the patient received the devastating news that their condition was an incurable malady. Rare malady. Definition: an uncommon or unusual illness or disorder. Examples: the doctors conducted extensive research to understand the rare malady afflicting the patient.
Next question. A long, angry, and critical speech or rant. A verbal outburst of criticism, denunciation, or condemnation.
भड़काऊ भाषण, क्रोध से भरी लंबी फटकार.
Now, let me present the options for this question. Which of these words matches the definition? Amalgam, culpability, sinecure, tirade. Now, the correct answer is tirade.
Tirade as noun.
भड़काऊ भाषण, क्रोध से भरी लंबी फटकार.
A long, angry, and critical speech or rant. A verbal outburst of criticism, denunciation, or condemnation.
Synonym of
Tirade.
Diatribe, philippic, harangue, lecture, rant.
Antonym of
Tirade.
Harmony, peace, calm, acclaim, agreement.
Here is the word family of tirade. As a noun tirade, as an adjective tirading, rare.
His tirade against the company's policies made everyone uncomfortable. The boss went on a tirade after seeing the mistakes in the report. His tirade about politics lasted for hours. The coach gave a tirade to the team after the loss. She went on a tirade about the unfairness of the system.
collocation of
Tirade.
Angry tirade. Definition: an outburst of angry, vehement, or impassioned speech or rant. Examples: he unleashed an angry tirade against his coworker for taking credit for his work. Verbal tirade. Definition: a forceful, vehement, or extended verbal outburst or rant. Examples: the customer launched into a verbal tirade, expressing their dissatisfaction with the service they received. Fiery tirade. Definition: a passionate, intense, or heated speech filled with anger or strong emotions. Examples: the coach delivered a fiery tirade to motivate the team after their disappointing loss. Political tirade. Definition: a lengthy, forceful, or vehement speech expressing strong opinions or criticism related to politics. Examples: the politician went on a political tirade, passionately advocating for their party's policies. Emotional tirade. Definition: an outburst of speech characterized by intense emotions such as anger, frustration, or sadness. Examples: in the heat of the argument, she unleashed an emotional tirade, expressing her deepest feelings.
You can find playlists for various languages in the video description. To practice the vocabulary, you are encouraged to explore our various apps. Links to these are also included in the description. If you found something new or interesting, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section and provide your valuable feedback. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content.